What's up, everybody? WA7PBE here with a video I alluded to in my last video about field day that I was going to be showing a presentation of Winlink, and here it is. I really enjoyed this presentation by David W2LX, and he explained how it works really well, and he actually showed it being done live. And you're going to see that in this video. And it's a little bit lengthy, but all the information is pretty useful and helpful, and the kind of use case scenarios that you would use Winlink in. So if you ever wondered what Winlink is or how it works, this is the video for you. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy the presentation.
W2LX, that's listening to Lima November X-ray. And here we are at the MARC, it's Montgomery Amateur Radio Club Dash Deck, that's Damascus Emergency Communications Team, joint field day operation. And one of the activities we do is to do presentation and demonstration, and hopefully we'll all learn something. Okay, so today we're going to talk about getting started. See, already a typo. Like I said, I'll do it for YouTube, I'll fix it. I said I changed the title, okay. Getting started with Winlink on VHF. But when I say VHF, I also include UHF. It's all part of the mix. I'm not going to talk about Winlink over HF, but it's just more of the same. Maybe next year do it over HF. The question is, can I get everybody to stop transmitting while I do my demonstration? Fat chance. But then again, 100 points outweighs the couple points they'll not get. Okay, just kidding around. So what have I been doing? Can you see me? For the last 2 years, I needed a COVID project because they sing. So I said, I'm going to learn and experiment with Winlink, because it's emergency communications, and for fun. It has interesting technical issues, challenges, so I'm going to get good at it. And one of my goals was to connect to HF stations within 300, 400, 500 miles. The assumption is that if there's a distressed areas within the locality, tornado, hurricane, earthquake, blackout, and worse, as opposed to the whole country being wiped out, or half the country being wiped out. So the idea is to connect to a remote server, send email. Now, Winlink is much more capable than just sending email. It can also do peer-to-peer, station-to-station communication, sending messages. So as part of the demonstration, presentation, which is worth 100 points for field day, we're going to garner another 200 points by sending Winlink messages to the section manager, which is Marty Privinger, and 10 other Winlinks to various good folks. So I'll demonstrate that. Now, I'm not going to read this presentation because I wrote this presentation as I was practicing on the radio. So this will be available. Any typos that I find, I'll fix. But I'm just going to ad lib. Like I said, well-rehearsed spontaneity. So let me bring up the agenda. So the agenda is, I figured instead of plowing through all the sort of details, the USB interfaces, the Winlink audio Windows audio issues, let's start with the fun stuff first instead of last, the actual demo. And actually, in the course of the demo, we're going through the presentation anyway, so it'll work out. So, let me minimize that. And let me bring up Winlink. Okay, so this looks like a email client. It's got an inbox, an outbox, sent items. My favorite box, which is called draft. So these are all the messages queued to go out. And let me actually compose a message. Do you have an ARRL email forwarding to your email? this goes over the air, and I like to use ham radio email addresses. For example, mine is w2lnx@arrl.net. So I'm not disclosing anything. Hi, he's a member of ARRL, and here's my call sign, but I know that anyway, as opposed to my real email address. So, do you have a K3XIT@ARRL.net? Oh, right.
Use it with Winlink.
Exactly. So I'm going to compose a message to Will here, and so open up. And there we go. Do I have K3? So this gives me a contacts list, and I have configured it so it remembers the email addresses and contacts from previous email. So K3, where's K3? There's K3XIT, but we don't have K3XIT@ARRL.net.
You could if you want to send it.
Well, I'm going to do it
If you
anyway.
want to do it, no, I'll get it via Winlink.
Directly.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you could,
Yeah. So Will, thank you. His email address is actually K3XIT@winlink.org, but since he's on the network, we can leave that out.
well, actually, you don't. I'll get it via Winlink.
Oh, let me mail forward it to you.
Yeah, I won't have to worry about internet. About
Yeah.
any of that stuff. It comes right next time I download stuff. I'll get it.
Oh yeah, so you're going to get on a Winlink to get it.
Right.
What some people do is they do
Yeah, I do that too, and
Mail
also
forwarding.
send it via the internet.
you can do mail forwarding from the Winlink system to your real email address. Except I get too many emails, so I figured just leave Winlink on the side. If I want to get my Winlink messages, I'll get on Winlink. Okay, so,
You can send it to me. I just won't be able to see it today at home.
well, we'll see what it looks like.
Okay.
Okay, so I learned with email, and always do attachments first.
Right.
Because you get so involved writing the subject, the body, and the signature, that you forget the attachments. Not dotting that. So do it backwards. So attachments. What's a nice attachment? Add. I have a choice here. How about mark small logo? There it is. Let's see what it looks like. There it is. So that's like 3 kilobytes. Okay, so finished. So attachment is there. So test message. I can't type because the fingers are a little nervous. I'm not nervous with my fingers there. Add field a compulsive. I gotta fix my errors. Field a presentation. See, that's why you gotta have everything done ahead of time. Presentation. There. Copy and paste in the body. Copy B. And I gotta sign my name. Who's it coming from? So David, comma, W2LNX. Oops. And I gotta get the space in there. There. Okay, post it to the outbox. It appears in the outbox. But before I send it, what I like to, I'll just send it. So I'm going to open up a Winlink FM Vara session. So Winlink is the email client, and it talks over a modem. So it happens that the modem is a software modem, and Winlink calls the software modem through, knows how to do it, it's a Windows thing, and connects to it. Back in the 20th century, we used to use hardware CNCs. But now, they're clever people, computers are fast enough with audio processing, we can have really good software modems, TNCs, packet, and Vara doesn't stand for anything. Actually, doesn't stand for anything, but it's the name of a character in some Spanish comedy show. So the guy, Jose, middle name, Ross. I think Miento is one of his names. Sorry, Jose, it's too many names to remember. He wrote this piece of software, and as a free trialware program. It's very capable. If you want to send long attachments quickly, then you got to pay a couple of dollars to get the full speed. So I open up a session, and who am I? Oh, wrong type of session. This is HF. I got to do VHF. It's an accident. Happy accident. Oh, bear with me. Close it. Yeah. Wrong modem. Come on, close. There. Come on, demo demon, behave. Vara FM Winlink. Open. And what it does, it opens the Vara FM modem. So the computer screen is big enough I can see both at the same time. And I'm just going to move this down here so to get an idea. When the outbox goes to empty, then you know you had your transmission. Okay, now, what channel do I use? There's a channel selection here. And this is based from my house. I didn't think of updating the location of this location, but I know ahead of time that this station, KF3, AK-10, and the Catoctin Mountain, what is that, 20 miles from here? About. Yeah. I'm going to connect to that station with that. And yeah. So let's connect and see what's waiting in the inbox on the server. The central message server is distributed around the world, and all the message servers talk to each other, duplicating, replicating the data, the messages. And then the station that I'm talking in Damascus is called the gateway. That is the ham radio to internet connection interface, and that talks to the gateway over the internet. Okay, so let's start. Oh, I need to have a valid call sign, so let me select this guy, K3AFK. Okay, now let's start.
Can't see it.
So this is coming from the radio. It's a conversation.
Well, you could see it disappear from the lights.
Right. So it's doing a bit of a handshake. Hello, how are you? I am okay. Are you okay? Do you have any mail for me? Yes, I have mail for you. Do you? Oh, you got mail for me too? Okay, great. Let's kiss. Oh, that was pretty fast. So I just sent my short message. And there is the outbox. Now somebody's sending me a message. Oh, wow. So I got something in my inbox. Well, this is a surprise. Okay, this is a group email. Let's maximize that. Can I maximize? I don't see a maximize button. Oh, that's fine. And all the usual goodies that come with email. You can reply all, acknowledge, forward, delete. No, I don't want to delete this. And good day, everyone. I'm emailing, blah, blah, blah. So the series of drills, Winlink Wednesdays, Winlink Thursdays, real Winlink Wednesdays. Then there's a Winlink in Puerto Rico. So you got to use Google Translate to understand the instructions. But they say, you know, you can connect to any Winlink station in the world. It doesn't have to be the one in Puerto Rico. So one of my goals over HF is to connect to Puerto Rican stations and do the Puerto Rican drill. You know. Anyway, okay, that was pleasant. Now, so I'm going to connect again, and not much is going to happen. So the first thing you do, just connect with no messages, no traffic. And if there is traffic for you, you download, because you want to check the channel, make sure everything is set correctly, so you do the real work. So I'm going to do that again. By the way, I'm running 10 watts here. I'm going to lower the volume. And we so happen to be the highest point in the county. So in ham radio, height is might. Height rules. So you gotta have friends in high places. So where's Ron? Oh, well, anyway, he's the friend in the high place. And so here we are. So yep, it exchanged, everything is great. If you cannot do this simple kiss, then it doesn't work. So let's take a look at this. This is the software, and what's interesting about this, I'm going to show you the settings. VARA settings. This particular gateway allows me to go really high speed, called VARA FM wide. The wider the bandwidth, the faster you can go. That is, the more bits per second you can go. When the universe was created, it was created with the laws of nature, right? One of the laws of nature, you have three. You have speed, you have distance, you have power. But you, mere mortals, pick two. Now in heaven, you can get infinite distance at no power and infinite speed, you know, so that's a mathematical realm, you know. Okay. The one in Rockville uses VARA FM narrow, but my attitude, this is an opinion, it's not a fact, if you're out in the field for a real emergency, if you can connect at any speed, be happy. So going VARA FM wide at a very high speed is an entertaining stunt. Now I don't know how fast we'll go.
Did you have to do anything in your setup to be able to accommodate line?
Ah, yes. There is this, in fact, good question. And I
wanted to know that because I haven't been able to do it.
Ah, okay. Now I do have a presentation, so let me answer that question and I'll scroll to it. It's Control L. So this radio is a dual band TM-V71. It is literally two radios in one box. You can transmit simultaneously on VHF and UHF, which means you could actually talking the back channel on UHF while doing Winlink traffic at the same time. Very nice. This is the little brother of, well, this radio, which is the data radio. It has the same capability. And there are settings for the radio, and let me quickly bring that up. Now, I like to make sure that the software works. If the software doesn't work and the TNC doesn't work, then the radio is not going to work. So the radio is the last thing to be tested. Now, I look at the manual, or you go search on the internet. What are the settings for, for the TM-V71? Some good soul has it posted. But anyways, it's explicit in the manual, and it's also in this. So my rule is, if a radio doesn't have this nifty guide that's really been around since the last century, last millennium, that means the radio is not popular enough. And in the back, they have all the menu settings. So you scan down here, anything having to do with high speed. So yeah, the answer is, I'm going to use the B side of the radio, just a convention. I'm going to go data speed, which is 96, which means it really isn't 9600 bits per second. All it means is a wider, flatter audio. Interestingly enough, the job is to move bits from here to there. So what you need to have is the cleanest, most linear audio possible, because the audio is where the tires run on the road.
Rubber meets the road.
There, the rubber meets the road. Thank you. The tires runs on the concrete, on the asphalt, and it has to be absolutely clear. On HF, that's an issue, so there's some rules of thumb about that, but I'm not going to talk about that. That's here. Now, people have shown me this stuff, so it's your turn. It's my turn to show you stuff to make it work. What radio do you have?
Well, right now I'm using a 9700.
What I want to do is go on to the next setting. So the question is, what is the right audio setting? So VHF VARA has an auto-tune button. So let's see what it does, what it tells me, what the settings are. If the TNC, that is not the TNC, if the signal link, that's what I'm running here, It's kind of tangled up here. I have a picture of that. The signal link is an audio interface that takes the bits coming out of the USB ports and turns them into audio. So it says, well, you've got a really good signal to noise ratio. It's green. The audio input is pretty good. And it says, but I don't have enough audio drive. Turn it up. Well, I can't. I can't go beyond that. Sorry. Anyway, it works.
Showing it.
Yeah, very close. Now, I'm going to run this on high power. Let's see what it says, just for grins and giggles. I wonder what my signal to noise ratio is. Oh, why did I? No, I have to close this. Auto tune. Start. High power. I bet the signal to noise ratio will be better. Did I press it?
It was 20.6.
I'll be right back.
So what's high power on that radio? 50 watts?
50 watts. I'm not surprised. Another 6 dB. So actually, you do the math. 6 dB means a fourfold. So 4 times 10 watts, about 50 watts. It's actually a little less than 6. It's right on the money. Now, with this software, you really get a feel of signal to noise ratio, because that determines the speed. So you can actually do A/B tests between two antennas. You have an A/B switch. Which antenna works better? All things being equal. Anyway, okay. The other fun thing to do, which is a recent addition to the program, is ping. And let's see what it says about that. So it says what the two stations are talking to each other. Now, let me go to my drafts, and I'm going to select them all. Can I do that? Yes. And I'm going to move to, not the saved items, but to the outbox, and mass, move to the folder selected above, outbox. And here they are. Now let's take a look what a message looks like. General message to WB3KS, my good buddy Jim. He's the section emergency coordinator for the section, but also PG County Aries guy. So I sent him this message. How was this message composed? So there is an ICS form, incident command structure form. And let me close this. And
Is that size in bits?
side. Well, let's look at the log when I do the transmission. Now, this is a form which I actually filled in. So I filled in Jim, all of this stuff, and when I did a save, turned it into a text message, plus this is an attachment. And at the other end, it turns into XML magic, and out comes this form.
So all messages through Winlink follow the ICS kind of standard message
I
format?
use ICS for convenience.
Okay.
Now, when you first fill it out, it says load initial data. So I only wrote one message, saved it as a template, did it 11 more times. The only thing I changed was the name and title. Or if I didn't have that capability, I would have a text file and would copy and paste. Copy, paste. It was the same message 12 times. This is for getting 200 points, Winlink, field day points. Okay. No, this is just a vanilla web page. Okay. Are we ready to do this? Yes, we are. I'm going to press start.
Can we see the outbox?
You want to see a drain?
Yeah.
He wants to see the outbox
There you go.
drain.
12.
I like to see this, the constellation.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, is there like a maximum size you can send as far as an email
What's
goes?
the limit on Winlink? 130K is it?
I've never.
I don't know.
never had to
It's
know.
not. It's in the kilobytes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
But
mostly
for test
attachment.
purposes, I send 100 kilobyte files like routine.
Okay, I just wonder if you sent pictures or.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can send attachments of any kind.
There's
Done?
also a thing that you can actually shrink the density that it makes just a file.
Yeah.
It's part of the Winlink software.
So it compresses it basically.
That's but yeah, because you might have to.
Yeah.
So it sends it in batches. It gets batches of 5.
It did.
Well, that's amazing.
Now, in the end, it'll tell you the speed. Oh, I'm covering up the speed. But these are very short messages, so most of it is handshaking. But I'm going to run a. Where's that gentleman? Ask the question. Where do you go?
What question?
Is that, oh, you. I'm going to send a 100K file, and you'll see the speed. Because this is very bursty. Am I done? Woo! Look at that. Outbox. I sent my messages. Where's my mouse?
Because we went like, what was it, 14 floors, 188, 56K.
Now, I'm going to compose a message to myself to answer your question. How fast are we going?
So this too, they're doing the same interaction.
Yeah, but it's, that's right.
I'm going to add a 100 kilobyte file, which is, where is it? 100 kilobyte test file.
If it's detecting
Oh,
CRC.
file name not found. Boy, that's okay. And this is what it is. This is what it looks like. This is actually my picture on my QRZ page. This is what I do a lot of. So might as well feature it. And
Test.
That's one of,
finish.
well, it's one of the classes.
So, 2, W2LNX at ARL.net and sending, oops, Control Z and sending large file. And then what I'll do is I'm going to log on to my account. Oh, I don't have internet here. Should I fix that? And then I'll send it back. I'll forward it back to myself. I'll fix it. Just turn on the hotspot. And you gotta have a body, otherwise it complains. Copy. Okay, so post this. This will show you the speed, transmission speed. Now, the FCC says you should use the maximum amount of, the minimum amount of power that you can successfully establish communication. Now, I'm running 50 watts, 10 watts works, but this is for demonstration purposes. The band is pretty quiet, so I won't tell if you
They
don't.
pulled off on this thing while they deal, and they used tear gas and SWAT teams and everything else.
Would you automatically get receipt of those messages?
And well, if you ask, you see, I'm waiting to see it.
Now, if you have a question, ask me and I'll repeat it.
Yeah, sorry.
I'll share with everybody.
Let go.
You sound like
So
you
the
have a
question was, are you gonna get an automatic acknowledgement of those false messages you sent out?
only if I enabled it in my message.
It's
So
did
at
you
the
do
receiving
that?
end, it says, do you want to acknowledge that? Usually I ignore it. I acknowledge emails by sending 2 words of acknowledgement. Hi, I'm acknowledging your email. Have a nice day. 73 W12NX.
Yeah, I do too.
It's supposed to automatically acknowledge it.
just
But
saying.
that's okay.
They can over.
The answer is you can, but not automatic.
Like a red receipt from your disco one?
Are you?
Yeah. No, not that I know.
I need this point of view because
Well, it's
I don't
certainly
put like
one
a 1 pixel image spyware. Yes, he read it because it got logged out of the web server someplace. No, we don't do that. That's how you do that. Yes, he opened it. Did he read it? I don't know.
So this message is going from here to a receiver
In
that
the
is
mountains.
connected to the internet,
Which is connected to the internet.
and it just sends this to some mailbox where it sits and waits.
Yeah, well,
for
it's actually
someone
2
to-
steps. It goes to the RMS gateway. RMS, the remote message server. I call it an email gateway, which connects to the central message server, which then connects to SMTP, real email, iPod, or iMac, not iPod, iMac.
Either.
Actually, no, SMTP. iMac is for read, SMTP is for sending. Actually, SMTP is well. It's been a while since I did that. So this gives you the speed. And we'll get an average speed. Look at this. First time I did this, I couldn't believe it. With packet, you get like 1,000 bits per second. I haven't done it like that. You know, that station can support
We
packets.
said we wouldn't do all this stuff. Well,
When we're
also,
done with this virus stuff, we could try it with packet. We'll see. It's like, oh my goodness, it's so 20th century.